Good morning, beautiful people. Lisa, the prepper here of Prepper and the Prophet. And I promised a video yesterday, and it's, it's a day late, okay? It will be okay. Just coming with a short video, you know me and my short videos. Um, Coming to talk about the current labor shortage. We already talked about gas. Yeah, gas is the pipeline is resuming their their business. How much is it at 100%? I don't think so. But not to mention, there's still going to be a shortage because it's going to take a while. I heard someone, I don't quote me because I cannot recall, but I heard someone say that it only runs at like 5 miles an hour. The whatever gas, whether it's regular gas or diesel or jet fuel, whatever they're sending through, only runs at like 5 miles an hour. So it's still going to take a while. But you know what? By the grace of God, in Tennessee, I've had no issues. I have not been in a line simply because, yes, I did fill up Saturday afternoon. Um, but I went and topped off because I was down to 3/4 of a tank this morning. And I went to the Kroger around the corner. It's in that shopping center at Highland and Poplar, and there was no line, and it was $2.75, and that was before my discount. And you know I use the Kroger discount. So enough of that. On to the labor shortage. Um, it is ridiculous, and I have actually gone to my husband and I told him, well, maybe I should get back in the work field. You know, people are giving incentives, trying to make people come back to work. And from what I understand, and no, I don't 100% trust the government, but they said there's 8 million jobs out there. From what I understand, Papa John's, it has to be Papa John's. Or I don't think it was Domino's, I think it's Papa John's. Hiring a delivery driver at $17 an hour. Come on, people, really? They have to bribe you to come to work? And I know what you're thinking. I'm getting unemployment, I'm getting the federal stimulus with that unemployment, and I'm not going back to work. Well, surprise, surprise, because there's a bunch of states now that are cutting that off. And it's not just that. I'm not blaming all of this on laziness, and that's what this video is about. We're going to run through the reasons why. Um, First of all, yes, unemployment does pay more. Because if you maxed out, let's say in the state of Tennessee, maximum Tennessee is $275 a week. Add $300 from the federal government on top of that, you're making $575 a week. I understand. I kind of get it. But just so you know, states like the state of Tennessee is actually cutting off those federal funds. So there's 11 states in all. It is in order: Alabama, Arkansas, Idaho, Iowa, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, North Dakota, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Wyoming have already said they are ending that federal stimulus with your unemployment as of June or July. So guess what? You planning on partying for the 4th of July or whatever? You better get a job about a month early so that you could get them first couple of paychecks in. Now, not everybody is sitting there saying, oh, I'm just going to run off the government. There are certain other issues, like, for example, the schools. Some schools are only partially open or not open at all. I did have a list. Hold on, let me see if I can read my own handwriting. Puerto Rico is the only one that has full closure. The schools are not open at all. In West Virginia, some grades are ordered to open. In Iowa, Arkansas, Texas, and Florida, all schools are ordered to open. And in California, New Mexico, Hawaii, District of Columbia, and Delaware, there is a partial closure. So I understand if your kid can't go to school, it's making it difficult on you, especially if they're like in elementary school or middle school and you don't want to leave them home alone. Um, it makes it difficult to go back to work. I completely understand that. Not to mention, there are people like, oh, you can hire a babysitter. Babysitters, especially private, well, they're just private babysitters, but babysitters are pretty unreliable, and they will call at a moment's notice and say if they're home and they got their stimulus check that day and they're like, oh, I need to go shopping. Oh, damn, I got to watch somebody's kids. Guess what? I'm not going to be able to make it today. I'm sick. It's not COVID, but I'll be back tomorrow. Then what are you going to do as far as a job? Not to mention they're expensive. And I completely get that as far as why am I going to work and make minimum wage when my babysitter is pretty much taking most of, or at least half of my check. I completely get that. So that's another reason why people are not so quick to go back to work. Another reason, believe it or not, some people are still scared of COVID. I mean, it's killing less than 1% of the population, but who wants to be in that 1%? So I kind of get that. Or it could be that, yeah, my job opened back up, we can go back, and I'm not scared of COVID, but it could be the fear of being forced to vaccinate. There's a lot of people that don't want to be vaccinated. You're looking at one of them. I am not going to be vaccinated. They are going to have to hold me down, put the shot in my arm. I don't care if there's a gun to my head. You're not vaccinating me. I have my reasons. I am not condemning anyone that does get the vaccine. My husband may have to get the vaccine if he wants to continue working. They haven't brought that up or anything yet, but it may be a strong possibility he may have to. And yes, I will let you know if that happens. But yeah, the labor shortage is not just sheer laziness. It isn't. There are other deciding factors in regular life. Before COVID, it was can I afford daycare? Am I getting any kind of assistance with daycare? Or things like that. Or if the school was closed, I remember at work there were a couple of people that had to call out because they had no one to watch their kids. So just because people are not going back to work, don't condemn every single one of them. You know what I'm saying? Take into account, if you have kids or if you have had younger kids, what life was like, okay? All right, guys, I guess that is about it for today. So I want you to take care, be well, God bless, and I'll see you next time.